Okay guys, so you join us on Calderis Refinery where we have Practice as the Plague Champion and Kickin as the Demon Hunter. So Kickin coming out from the south base and Practice coming up from the north. So let's see where the first action hits. Plague Champion not the fastest, so it might be a while before we see anything. Kickin going for natural.
How this already works, but we will be doing a little demo as usual, just for people who are new around here, especially for this this SG competition. We've got a few new people here, so as more people roll in, we'll go through and carry on. But yeah, as I say, we've got the if you haven't seen it already, we've got the PRS Paul's guitar on the website at the minute. Really nice guitar.
Okay guys, so welcome to Calderis Refinery where we see Practice coming out the south base with the Plague Champion and Kickin coming out the north base with the Ordo Malleus Demon Hunter. Okay, so let's see how the Demon Hunter can do against the forces of Chaos. So where are we going to see the first engagement? So we see Kickin going for the power and the VP, same as Practice. Practice getting his second squad of ticks out. Kickin just with the Stormtroopers and the strike squad to start with.
Your forces obey you.
So it looks like this left hand side might be where the first engagement hits. Ticks coming up for the power. Strike squad coming down the middle. Just going for the wreck point. And we'll switch over to the mid as the Plague Champion is going to come into contact with the Demon Hunter, who decides to back off from that fight. So Practice having the middle of the map, it seems. Stormtroopers coming in, Chaos Space Marines as well, so this could be our first engagement. Kickin just backing off. Any strike squads get into position. Tips look like they're going to go and decap the wreck point. So Tips now worshipping Demon Hunter in on the Chaos Space Marines. Gets a model. Demon Hunter gonna have to get out, but still got the full health on his strikes and his Stormtroopers using them in range. We see the Plague Sword straight up for the Plague Champion, which is going to make Kickin back off. So, strong start for Practice there. Did get some model losses. He's kept his Space Marines on the field though, which is going to allow him to cap up and get a bit of wreck point pressure early on. And Heretics coming across for a power bash. Going to see the Purgation squad for Kickin. Practice is going to have to be careful here. He's down to 2 Chaos Space Marines in his unit, and he is spread out, so it's going to be very difficult for him to take any engagement. So the Plague Champion gets a decap just to be annoying and backs off. Space Marine's going to get the cap bite, it seems, on this wreck point. And the Ticks managed to get 1 gen before backing off. Space Marine's still pushing forward. Getting into some cover. We do see we've got the Sergeant for the Stormtroopers, who are going to come in on the Chaos Space Marines potentially. Looks like they might be looking at the power bash themselves, coming down this left hand side. Meanwhile, Practice has noted up the 2 side points. Chaos Space Marines taking cover, gets hit by a grenade, not going to be able to stay very much longer and backs out. Now got 2 gens up for Practice, as well as some Havocs. And Tomes of Titan for the Strike Squad, giving them the banishment ability, which I've heard people refer to as Baby Smite. So the Purgation Squad coming in for the Power Bash, but they're going to walk straight into the Havocs and get suppressed. Might mean Play Champion's just going to walk through the suppression. Managed to get a swing. Purgation Squad's off. Banishment goes off. But the Strike Squads decide better off the fight and back out. So with these main units off the field, we see Kickin just backing off from the mid, allowing the Havocs to set up, but we do see the grenade launchers from the Stormtroopers allowing them to put pressure on the Havocs. With that barrage knocking them back, which will allow the Demon Hunter to potentially get in, but we can see that Practice is coming down, chasing the second Stormtrooper squad. Again, he's just a little out of sync with his units. Get Space Marines back out, putting some pressure on the Demon Hunter though. Ticks are going to get in on the Stormtroopers, who are forced off. Demon Hunter looks like he might go down, with the Havocs still on the pitch, and the Stormtroopers decapping the right hand wreck point. So a little bit of a lull with units being forced off. Stormtroopers just trying to get themselves around into various positions to harass the wreck income of Practice. Practice is going tier 2 though first. Purgation burning down the power gens on the right. Strike Squad struggling to make any headway with the Havocs. Purgation Squad managing to suppress the Play Champion, but he just powers through it, ties them up. We do see the Demon Hunter back on the field. So big engagement brewing. Play Champion starting to look a little unhealthy, but it's going to sit behind his worship and heal up. But he's making the push through. Play Champion in a bit of trouble here. Play Champion going to go down. The double worship not enough to keep him healthy through all that fire. Purgation suppressing the whole of, well, the Ticks, not the Chaos Space Marines, who are still putting on the pressure. Trying to use his healing to keep his units on the field. Meanwhile, Stormtroopers for Kickin are capping up the natural wreck point, the natural VP point of Practice. Ticks get in amongst the Purgation Squad, but are forced off with that, Kickin is going to hit tier 2. So that's practice off the field. We can see Stormtroopers have capped this rec point, and they're going to get the VP point here, as well as the middle. So Kickin about to potentially get a triple cap.
You are losing us a victory point.
And practice going for some bloodletters. That will allow him to get in amongst those purgation squad and prevent that suppression.
Cannons. Upgrade interrupted.
So Kickin looks like he's going to wander around, just recap up the map. He's going to take the rec points of practice, and he's going for the Vindicare Assassin. Chaos Space Marines are getting the Mark of Zeech, and we see the Mark of Corn for the Havocs. So practice has used up that big bank of rec that he had, and with losing his natural rec points, he really need to get those back. But he can use one set of ticks to do that. Kickin changed his mind from the Assassin and going for the Grey Knight Dreadnought. And going to cap up his rec point again. Gets his natural VP. VP's level pretty much at 373 for practice, to 364 to Kickin. Havoc's going to struggle to set up with the Stormtroopers in the area. Starts to set up, but just as he set up, we're going to see the barrage. But the heal comes in on from the heretics, allowing them to set up. We've got the demons, the bloodletters, big on one step, but too much for them to handle on their own. But the Havocs are going to get set up. Mark of Zeech is going to put some damage in. Going to have to be careful with those Havocs. They are very, very low, but with a little bit of healing from the heretics, they could be back up pretty soon. Decides to back them off. He's capped up the power point on the right. He's got his natural rec points back. Still has the power point on the left noded, and is going to be heading to a 2-1 cap. But the Dreadnought now is out on the field. And going for the claw. So we will see how he manages to deal with this. Not sure the Havocs are going to be enough to deal with the Dreadnought, but we will see if he gets anything else. It does go tier 3. So we now have the Purgation Squad with the Silencers. The Bloodletters teleport in but get greeted by an Emperor's Fist, which sends them flying and sends them off. Havoc's gonna have to go, or he's gonna lose them. I think that's a dead Havoc squad. No way he can get them D-set up to get out, so loses Havoc squad. So that's a big loss for practice. No AV out on the field. Does have, he won't be too far away from a Predator though. And he does have some touch of Nurgle heretics taking out the power farm. I assume he got into a fight with the strikes and popped it, but not going to be able to finish off that power bash. And Dreadnought coming in could do some big damage to the tips. He managed to get away, but Stormtroopers in retreat path, and Tix managed to escape. So practice in a bit of a bad spot for the time being, with no way to deal with the Dreadnought. The Purgation Squad forced to D-set up with the Bloodletters coming in. Doesn't manage to get any models, but we see the Emperor's Fist again. It might have just been a special, but he is focusing the Purgation Squad. But phases them out due to damage coming in from the Dreadnought and is forced to retreat. So a full retreat there from Practice. Again, he's going to struggle until that Predator hits the field, but once that's on the field, should be in a good position to deal with this Dreadnought. So Dreadnought looks like he might be coming across for the Power Bash, yep. So Kickin trying for the Power Bash, but the Predator is out now. Allowing to put some big pressure on this big blob. Not a lot he can do without the negation at the moment. So we do see the Vindicator Assassin now for Kickin. There's a 2-to-1 cap for Kickin at the moment. Has a 60-point victory point lead. But the Predator should allow Practice to recapture the centre of the map. It looks like he's going to push his Predator in, looking for that Dreadnought. Seeing that it's not still in the area, decides to back off. We see Eternal War up on the Chaos Space Marines now, and they're going to capture that midpoint. So Vindicator Assassin is out now. Where are those Bloodletters? Bloodletters coming out onto the field. So 2 sets of AVs got to watch for. So big hit there from the Vindicator Assassin. Going to need to get those Bloodletters out on there to put some pressure on him. Going for the repairs. In comes the Bloodletters, but with no support, they're going to get Emperor's Fisted straight away. But the Siege Marines are in there now. Bloodletters are forced off. Siege Marines are forced off. Dreadnought probably doesn't want to hang around. The Predator probably doesn't want to hang around with the Vindicator Assassin, even with those repairs. But he needs to start getting some shots in on him. Needs to focus potentially the Vindicator Assassin to get him off the field. One more hit would do. Heading back for the repairs. Vindicator Assassin's off the field now, so that'll allow the Predator to heal up. And we'll see what Practice goes for next. Kickin looks like he's not too far off hitting tier 3 or starting tier 3. Bit of a stalemate here. And Practice's army is ready to join the fight. Siege Marines possibly looking for a flank. Where's the Vindicator? Vindicator still in base, so it'll be a good time. So, Practice deciding to go for the Gem Bash with the Predator, but I do worry if that might be another bit. Oh no, he's getting in behind the shot blocker here, which will allow him to come back round the side if need be. And we can see that he tried to cover that by coming in from the side, realising that, oh, I thought he was going to go for the cap. But the Predator taking the safe retreat path out round the side, but realising he is forced off his opponent, Kickin is going for the victory point. We're going to see a second Predator from Practice. We'll see whether or not this is going to be a mark of each, or we might see a mark on his original Predator. Kickin very close to tier 3. So Demon Hunter being used as a capping unit now. putting some wreck pressure. So the Bloodletters use to teleport to get up and go for the cap. The only issue with that is they can't use it to put pressure on the Purgation Squad. Not that there's any lot. The Chaos Space Marines going for the decap, but they're not tanky enough and they're looking pretty weak. So he manages to get them out. Second Predator is out on the field as well. Big hit on the strike squad. So picking on the infantry units at the moment, forcing them off the field. Gets in a bit close, he is taking a lot of damage. Needs to deal with those Purgation squad. Gets to the league model, doesn't stop them being set up. In come the Bloodletters, so he's managed to force them off the field. But both Predators are going to need some repairs now. We do see some interceptors from Kickin. Managing to get the middle victory points, which is, he's now 130 points behind, so he's going to hold a 2-to-1 cap for a while. We see one squad of ticks coming in for repairs on one Predator, and the second squad coming out potentially for the second. He will get that 2-1 cap in the middle. Interceptors are out now for Kickin, going for the side cannons, so maybe looking to ambush one of the Predators. So out comes Kickin with his full army. Mark of Corn upgrades. Not sure this is the greatest time. It's going to allow Kickin to get set up. But there's the Mark of Corn. Purgations decide to back off a little bit. Marcus Each coming in, but just focusing on the Dreadnought. Now managing to focus the Purgation squad. And focusing the infantry units again, not worrying too much about the Dreadnought, and that's the strike squad out. Now this is allowing him to put some pressure on this Dreadnought. Dreadnought getting some heavy melee swings on, needs to move this one back. Loses one Predator. Can he get the... oh, he could lose the second as well. He needs to back that one out. Purgation squad with the side cannons, and he takes out both Predators now. So big losses for Practice. Goes for the nuke and only really manages to kill some of his heretics. Going to go for the decap on the natural. That was... felt like it could just be a last minute push from Practice, hoping that if he could just win that fight he'd be in a strong position, but and that puts him in a slightly weak position now. We shall see. He did manage to get rid of the strike squad, but I don't think they've been doing a huge amount. So next purchases could be key for both sides. Practice, I would imagine, will be another Predator. Doesn't have the red for Terminators. Kickin, we might see some Paladins. So Practice making sure he gets some capping done, keeping up pressures, getting the power point on the right. Decides better to come and get into the fight. And then the Interceptors jump in on the Chaos Space Marines, but they're going to be met by some Bloodletters, which is going to force them off, which is going to allow them to hold the middle. Another Predator for Practice, and Grey Knight Terminators for Kickin. So each Marine's going to be able to put quite a bit of damage on the forces of Kickin, especially if you can get around the firing arc of the Purgation squad. Predator now out. Not upgrading it as yet. So victory points have swung in favour of practice with 190 to 159. The bloodletters have got up potentially for the cap. Seeing the units in the back decide to come round. Predator is back in now. Bloodletters could go down here. And he loses his bloodletter squad. Is going to manage to force off the army of Kickin though. We're allowed to get the triple cap. And he's going to move this Predator into the mouth of the base to try and keep him in base. He's now seeing the Terminators who teleport in. Should be pretty safe because they're going to force off the Space Marines, but he needs to deal with this Predator, so he needs to back this Predator off. And that was the Incinerators coming up for the Grey Knight Terminators. So this Stormtrooper squad could be in trouble. Doom Blast, not quite enough to finish them off. Going to get out with 50 hit points. Kickin about to hit double figures on his VPs. Needs to cap up that middle. Practice. We're going to see another Predator. Yeah, we're going to see there's Predators from now on for practice. Have to push his Predator in. But in come the Interceptors with the side cannons active. And the Heretic squad go down. Looked like he was trying to use something on the, unless it was an ability. Oh, it was the ability from the Grey Knight Terminator. So has lost another Heretic squad. So he's down to 2 capping units. He's going to lose another one if he's not careful. So he's lost another capping unit. Now he's down to 2 Predators and a Heretic squad, which he needs. See the Noxus Cloud ability cast down. She's going to put pressure on, but he's still got the a 80-point victory point lead. Predator sits in the middle, but cannot cap with the Predator. He needs to repair with the ticks. So he's pushed the Predators in now, and going to look to use those as a distraction while the Heretics cap. But I'm not sure the Predators can take this, especially with the Terminators. So he does get the decap, but the Heretics are going to get out with 60 HP. But as it stands, there are no capping units on the field for practice. He's going to lose another Predator. Looks like this one's going to go down as well. And with that, practice calls the GG. So, game goes in favour of Kickin.